Not right now.
That's right.
I'll go get this thing right now. Isn't that right? Whole world coming, it's falling apart. I put a post out today on Twitter about they're talking about how the dams in Russia. I think near St. Petersburg. I think that's the second largest city in Russia. And that dam getting ready to burst over there because of the so-called global warming. They don't want to give acknowledge to who it is, do they? Ain't that right? Romans chapter 15. How many? Yeah, St. Petersburg. I think that's the second largest city in Russia. And these people just waiting on that for that dam to burst on. They said they ain't going to keep holding that water back. That dam burst and come through there and wash them out. Just a matter of time. Mr. Yahuwah is angry. He angry with everybody. Isn't that right? Time for everybody to get right. Isn't that right? We done played long enough now. I'm talking about committing Qatar. It's time to get right, people. They done got ladies slacking and dragging and doing other stuff, making excuses. Got time for everything other than your salvation. That's the most important thing you're going to do. I tell you. So for you to be faithful, yourself slack, drag, have calm, make it when you can, do what you want. Ain't nobody here got that kind of relationship. I don't want no kind of relationship with him where he good. When I don't come, he know what I'm doing. I know he know what I'm doing. There's something wrong with me if I think he done cut a deal with that when he done already gave us what the debar told her. Pick this up. I'm going to say that 1025 Abarim. That's right, Abarim. They call it Hebrew. Listen to the book.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
What was it written for?
Our learning.
It was written for our learning. Tell them for what reason.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
Listen to the book. This is the 10th chapter of the book of Romans, verse 25. Isn't that right? Other one give me Acts of the Apostles. That's 14. See if it 20. Listen to the book.
Not forsaking the
doing what now?
Not forsaking.
Not forsaking
the assembling of ourselves together.
Y'all hear what he told us? Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together. Why would he say that? I want it because everybody was making it. Because people were pressing their way. Because you know what? Sometimes people think, well, I probably won't go this time. I just go next time. Yeah, a little tired. Probably stay home and rest. Get in early. Just watch the live streaming. I'll go tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff like this done hurt us. This technology. Oh, I got it, man. I know you. I know y'all. Don't think I don't know you. And you feel like it's the same thing. Then you know who got to suffer? Out of town member. They got to suffer. Because what's the difference? It ain't like they him. They watch live. So if I stay home and watch it, and I'm seeing it, they seeing it too. They're funny. You think I know these people?
Yeah.
I know my people.
That's right.
I'm like Yusaph said, I know y'all. I know what y'all thinking. The live streaming get you in. You know, you there for a excuse. Those people watching because they don't live here.
That's right.
A lot of them people watching, they watching with anticipation. They don't want to continue to be a live stream. They want to be here when they can be faithful.
That's right.
Some of them that's out there looking at, but I want to get there where I can be right there with the crowd. I want to be close to it. I don't want all that and freezing up and I go out there and hear everybody laughing. I don't know what in the hell they done said. Or something just happen now, cut that thing out. I know they now fellowship and having a good time. I just cut off and everything in my house just died. Isn't that right? People don't realize, man, y'all take for granted a lot of this stuff until you set out the wire, you know, and he just move you out of the way. But he told them here, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together.
As the manner of some is.
See that? So you know he was telling some people who were there about some people that wasn't now. Or either some people that were there that ain't faithful. He was just telling them not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together. As the manner of some, because that's some people behavior. You got to why people get used to you not showing up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, it is. You know, it's a different thing you tell yourself. You know, I'm kind of just going through right now. Hell, I'm always going through.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to come out. That's just being honest. I mean, that the case, I wouldn't show up. I miss all these services. It depends on me going through. I ain't came out yet. Isn't that right? I'm fighting. I'm pressing my way.
Yes, sir.
That's what it's going to take. If you're going to make it in, you got to have that mindset that you're going to be willing to go beyond it. You ain't going to let it come down to the point that you're going to let it be based on when I'm feeling good. When I'm saying feeling good and you're sick, you got bubonic plague, AIDS, internet. Don't come. But we talking about you're not feeling good because you're depressed. You got a lot going on. Stuff ain't working the way you felt like it should work. Bring your ass on the service. Join the crowd. We here too. Yeah, that right there. Go. Everybody here want things to work a whole nother way, but we here. That's why we here. In spite of and because of. Ain't that right? That's the whole thing. It's a pressing way. Listen.
But exhorting one another.
EXHORT. But warning one another. And what he say?
And so much the more.
As you see what?
The Yom approaching.
See that? As you see the Yom approaching. Ain't that right? We see it coming to the end. I want you to be slack like that. You started coming back in. We glad to see him come on and Wednesday night. Ain't that right? We had to change our name of day to get him out here. Ain't that right? Had to tell him the Wednesday night was Shabbat. And then we got him thinking Shabbat Wednesday night. But it working him.
That's right.
He found that Shabbat, he out and he got to get to work.
That's right.
Lord. Ain't that Lord, be faithful, come on through there. Ain't that right? See, that's sick, man. I'll get me a drip bottle with Creel motion. Put in there, be honest. I see, bro, y'all be slack, man. I be like, y'all, I seen folk, man, y'all supposed to be fervent.
Fervent.
Man, please, I be tired. I got through, I was told me that we right here, I'm going to go home and get me a nap. I said, a nap? I said, man, please, last night, I lay out there, it's done. I said, man, I got to, at that point, I got to go with it. I said, man, I got to roll what I got. It is. I just had my mind looking at shoes. I set my life up. It's going like that. I can't slack this man. Ain't no use of slacking on him because you make all these commitments. Main thing he look at, keep what you got to me. If you can handle that, you handle it. But once it come to be a problem doing my job, it's going to be a real problem. That's why a lot of people don't make it well. A lot of people try to get stuff for me and sleep, everything I be doing, fiery pushing, sleep like hell. I be seeing everybody here. I be going. That means you got to start reconditioning what you're doing. This got to be your primary. But this ain't your primary. Everything you're going to do, you're going to be running circles out there. I'm trying to tell you now. That man will put you out there. Listen what he told us at 10:26.
For if we sin willfully.
For if we sin what?
Willfully.
After what?
That we have received the knowledge of the amount.
Pick me up. Hold what you got. Hold what you got, son. Hold what you got. Hold what you got. Barashit. Genesis, they'll call it. Right? 2. Two and 6. But it's right, ain't it? We just going what he told her. They made that statement. Let's say all the time. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Too many folks sinning. People get by. People get repentant. Y'all all right? Let's see what happened. This is the book of Barashit. Genesis, they'll call it, in the beginning. Isn't that right? Listen to the book.
But there went up a mist from the Adumah and watered the whole Pani of the Adumah. And Yahuwah Alahym formed Ish of the dust of the Adumah.
What happened?
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of Kai.
See that? That's that ha, the breath. Listen to the mouth. Listen to the book.
And Ish became a Kai Nefash. And Yahuwah Alahym planted a Gan eastward in Eden, and there he put the Ish whom he had formed.
Yes, at verse 16. 2 and 16.
And Yahuwah Alahym amar the Ish, saying,
He commanded the Ish, saying,
of every ox of the gone thou mayest freely eat,
yes.
but of the ox of the knowledge of Tub and Rasha
To them, of good and evil, what happened?
thou shalt not eat of it.
Tell them why, son.
For in the womb that thou eatest thereof
Tell them what happened.
thou shalt surely moot.
Y'all hear that? You're going to surely die. You're going to surely die. At 3 and 1, same book, Barashit. Listen to the book.
Now the Nakash was more subtle than any beast of the field,
More than what? Go ahead.
than any beast of the field which Yahuwah Alahym had made.
What happened?
And he said unto the Ashah, yea, hath Alahym said, ye shall not eat of every ox of the gone.
Yeah.
And the Ashah said unto the Nakash, we may eat of the pari of the ox of the gone,
Yeah.
but of the pari of the ox which is in the midst of the gone,
What happened?
Alahym hath said,
To do what?
ye shall not eat of it,
Neither.
shall ye touch it,
What happened?
lest ye moot.
What happened?
And the Nakash said unto the Ashah,
What is time?
ye shall not surely moot, for Alahym doth know that in the womb ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as Alahym,
Doing what?
knowing Tub and Rasha.
So what happened?
And when the Ashah saw that the ox was Tub for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a ox to be desired to make one wise,
What did she do?
she took of the pari thereof and did eat,
Yeah.
and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
And what happened?
And the eyes of them both were open,
And they knew.
that they were Ara.
And what happened?
They sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of Yahuwah Alahym walking in the Gone in the cool of the Yum. And Adam and his Ashah hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah Alahym amongst the ox of the Gone.
Go ahead.
And Yahuwah Alahym called unto Adam.
You know
and-
what's amazing? Just kind of listen to what he just said. You know, they heard the voice of Alahym. They said, what? And Aki heard what they say he was doing. What was he doing? What was he doing? And what did he do? Tell him what he did.
And Adam and his Ashah hid themselves
And what happened?
from the presence of Yahuwah Alahym
Yeah.
amongst the ox of the Gone.
Yeah.
And Yahuwah Alahym called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou?
So now you can kind of see a little of the action of the gam. That they call the gamal. That's supposed to be walking and gathering. Only he was walking because he was trying to gather them. He just told you what he did. When he was walking, what was he doing? If he called them, what was he trying to do? He was trying to gather them. He was walking so he could gather them. So you could see the association when they would have saw the gam of the gamal. The gamal. Gather. That's what he was walking for, so he can gather. Right? That don't make sense? Because now, I'm just going with what I'm listening. I'm listening. I guess I shouldn't probably do like y'all do, just kind of ignore stuff. We look at the gum. What character do we find here? What got him? What else we got there? How do we write the gum in the English? What do we find? What characters we put together? The C in Gamal. Buddy, you really tired, ain't you? Buddy, some saying he's really tired. You see the C in Gamal? C. I said, what character? No sound. He said, C. C. Here's why I like to think about, oh my goodness. This cannot be good. What's he think? He tired, ain't he? Pilot! he said, no, what was you saying? You saw a C? It's a C? Oh, okay, the C. Oh, okay. I'm still kind of lost on here. Yeah. How many of y'all thinking that too? How many of y'all thinking C? How many of y'all love you? I love you. Yeah, see? 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 Now here. Camel walking. Now that's a good one. That's when it's really bad. now he fine. No, but y'all should have looked at the mem. Don't forget, you saying that when you write, you actually just have the gum and the mem. And then, got it? Got it? Now you would kind of look at, you would kind of now you want to wonder for the mem, for the gum. It's still kind of changed over. And we kind of look at this based off of the Greek. Now it kind of makes sense in a way why people kind of refer back to the Greek, because the Greek kind of lets us know what our original alphabet would have been, simply because they copied from us. And see, when they wrote gamma. Got it? They wrote gamma. We had Gamal, and Gamal actually believed to be something they added late, the AL, and the original would have been Gam. Because the Greeks wrote gamma. Got it? Just like they went alpha, when they took, and their alpha, and you see your alphabets kind of come now. See that? That's the same thing as this. That's how they got it. They took your plow and turned it upside. That's all they were doing. Because then that's how you know, because they tell you this is the first letter of the alphabet. This is the first, what we look for. He lets us know the ox, which we call the Aleph, because of the strength of it. Y'all got it? That's all they did. They took your plow and they just turned it upside down and gave it back to you. See, everybody took it. They stole from you. That's how we kind of know it's the Aleph. You know what I'm saying? They went with the Alpha. So that's how it kind of let us know, trigger off for them to know they stole from us. So it's not hard to kind of go back to identify what we have. They have the delta. We have the dal. You see what I'm saying? They stole from us. You know what I'm saying? So the parent root for us will be the dal. Got it? Then it created been the dollar, the delta. So everybody steal from you. Everybody steal from you. Everybody stole from you. And so now we're learning how to go back and process and watch how things were created. So these people created a whole alphabet that they taught you, and you had an alphabet. And they turned and took your characters. They turned from your writings and they watched your writings and you wrote things. They turned around and said, no, it's an E. And that's actually was a ha for you. They turned around and told you it's the E. Everybody stole from you and they just turned your characters back around and gave them back to you. It's amazing. What is this? Beth. Good. So they got the what? Beta. Beautiful. Beth. Then we do characters. Y'all see that? Let me just flip it around. Yeah, make a B. Just turn it around. They just took your stuff and they just took your characters and flipped them around on you. And they get the number 6. They created numbers as well from your alphabet. So they gave you numerical values off your stuff. They created, see, these people didn't just steal from you and they created letterings, as you call letters. They actually created numbers from you too. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's look at the book of Bereshit. No, don't pay me no attention. I will be ignorant. You much more smart than me. In there, right, with your gamma rays. Barashit. See if it's 1. I don't know. See if it's 7. I play with it. Let's see what it do. This is 1 and 7. I probably had to go up anyway. That'll make a difference. Up or down, it'd be the same thing. Listen to the book.
And Alahym made the firmament and divided the Ma'im which were under the firmament from the Ma'im which were above the firmament.
That's what he did. He divided it. What was it?
The Ma'im which were under the firmament.
From what?
The Ma'im which were above the firmament.
Yes.
And it was so.
And that's what happened. That's what happened when he did it. Y'all all right? Goodness, this is going to be. Controversial. All right. Y'all know what that is? That's a wall. It means divide. That's what you have here. The car, that's what it is, a divide. That's a wall. That's what it is, a wall. That's a divider. Probably hard for y'all to believe that, huh? See, because when the rich man died, he wanted Lazarus to come down and cool his parched tongue. But for some reason he couldn't come. Anybody know why? It was a divide. There was a divide so that he couldn't cross over to one side and you couldn't cross to that side. That's what the Koth was, or the Hoth. It's a divide. So they knew that, they understand it. One way you can get people to come out from among them and do what? How exactly are you going to be able to do that? You have to put a wall between them, divide them, so that one can't cross over to the other one. See, they had a lot of understanding, a lot more understanding than what we have now. Because we just kind of been playing with characters. We had no idea what they actually stood for, what they meant. Looked like a ladder. The ladder is a wall. It's a divide. Listen.
And Alahym called the firmament Shamayim.
Yeah.
And the evening and the morning were the second yom.
What happened?
And Alahym said, let the Ma'im under the Shamayim.
Listen what he told them. Do what now?
Be gathered together.
Where?
Unto one Malkum, and let the dry land appear.
Pick me up and see if that's 1 and 3. Let's see what 1 and 3 say. Listen. Interesting. Listen. I tell you, I'll probably go up. Listen.
And Alahym said, let there be Aur.
Yeah.
And there was Aur.
So verse 2 is what I want. Listen.
And the Adumah was without form and void.
Yes, it was. What happened?
And Kashak was upon the Pani of the deep.
Y'all see that? And tell them what happened.
And the Ruach of Alahym moved upon the Pani of the Ma'im.
Y'all see what he did? What did he do? He hovered. He vibrated. I think basically just said rakaf. I had to say that my rakaf vibrated. He moved. Y'all got it? Y'all ever seen a guy ticking? Start vibrating, he start moving? And start walking? Then he said he wanted the Ma'im to be gathered. I wonder that kind of like the gam. Because they use water. Amazing, he said he wanted the waters to be gathered together. After he wound up vibrating and moving. Let's say walking. Y'all found out that fascinating, huh? How people start ticking and doing all that stuff? He did it too, Rakoff. He vibrate. He vibrate when he move. Can you imagine that? Alahym just vibrate when he moving. Strange, huh? Y'all all right? That's amazing. But y'all grew up with people. How many of y'all used to do that? Tick and vibrate. So this ain't hard for you to understand then, huh? Then when he did it, he wound up causing the Ma'im to come together. And then he came along and told you later that the people were Ma'im. He wanted all of them in one place. So you see how they would now, how it could make sense to use, how they formulate the Gam and with the Ma'im, because that's what they would have understood first gathering. What else would they have known gathering first from? Other than knowing that the Ma'im's gathered. When he vibrated, when he moved, huh? It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Pick me back up at Bereshit chapter 3. Bereshit chapter 3, verse 7. Listen to the book.
And the eyes of them both were open,
What did they know?
that they were Ara.
You see that? They knew that they were Ara. Listen.
And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of Yahuwah Alahym
Doing what?
walking in the Gan in the cool of the Yum.
Yeah.
And Adam and his Ashar hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah Alahym
Yeah.
amongst the odds of the Gan.
Yeah.
And Yahuwah Alahym called unto Adam and said unto him,
What happened?
Where art thou?
He want to know where is he. I wonder why. So he could stay where he was? Let's see.
And he said, I heard thy voice in the Gan,
And what did you do?
and I was afraid,
And what did you do?
because I was Ara, and I hid myself.
I wonder why is he hiding himself? Because he was coming to get him? Because he was coming to get him. That's what he was doing. If he was walking, he was coming to gather him. He already knew about it. He already had taught him and instructed him that he was going to cause the Ma'im to be gathered together in one place, one Malcolm. He was calling them so they could be gathered in one Malcolm. Come on, folks. You don't take a man to put a man over unless a man understand what you've done. He had to understand what he done. I'm putting you over everything. You think I'm going to put yourself, you don't know what I've done? You have no idea what I've done. Huh? Basha, do you know where I started the ministry from? Yes. Well, you my assistant. Were you there when I started it? How did you know that? So I'm to believe that he put Adam inside of the gun and where he established and put it, he went there and he didn't know what he done? Am I to believe he put him there and he didn't know what he done? I'm going to put you over everything I got, all the work of my hands that I put together, and you don't know what I've done? He had to know. They could hear him because you ain't going to believe why they could hear him, because of vibration. Just like when he recough, he vibrates. And you can feel the vibration. Huh? The people did it when he spoke to them before. In the 20th chapter of the book of Alahym. The mountain smoke. The place started trembling. He was vibrating. They already knew what was happening. And they did the same thing. They didn't want to talk to him no more. What else you think the people did? The people fled. He told you what they did in the day of Uzziah. What did the people do? They fled. They fled when the rock started quaking. Started vibrating. Don't worry about it. Adam got the same behavior. They started to hide themselves because they already know they are ashamed. They're ashamed. Let's see what Shaul told you in 1:16, Romans. Look at 114. If it's possible, I can get another warty. My warty low. Used to kill you to ask for some warty. Can I have some warty? Well, Hashikasha, he asked for water. He said, Mama, could I have some water? I said, boy, you sound like Bruce Lee. Water, mother. He would start crying sideways. He must be called a Hashikasha when he was little. You imagine that? And I mean, he said, I don't want to talk to her for a minute. I said, oh, yeah, come over here. He said, wow, what is Kashi? I said, there's something. I said. He said, you keep calling me Kashi. I said, nothing. I said, okay. He started crying sideways. He left. I never seen a man cry like the wind. I know when the wind blowing you on the ride, it don't be no wind in there. It just be still. But it's fascinating though. All these different people, man, they're from different cultures. Man, it's hard to believe he grew up in a country right here in Atlanta down the street from the zoo. He's so oriental. By the Atlanta Zoo. There's nothing oriental about the Atlanta Zoo. Even the pandas going back home. All right, listen to the book. Romans 1:14. I am what?
Debtor,
Both to who?
the Greeks,
And?
and to the barbarians,
Who else, son?
both to the wise
And?
to the unwise.
So what happened?
So as much as in me is,
What are you?
I'm ready to preach the debar to you that are at Rome also.
To the who?
For I am not ashamed.
You what?
I am not ashamed.
So you're not naked. You say you're not what?
Ashamed.
Oh, what?
The debar of Mashiach.
For what is it, son?
It is the power of Alahym.
To who?
Salvation
Is to Yahusha. To who?
to everyone.
That doth what?
Believeth.
See, had they believed, they wouldn't have been ashamed. They just told y'all why they didn't come out. They was ashamed. They ain't believe. How did they get in that situation? 3:16, Yukanan. I don't see that 1 Timothy. See, that's 1 and 11. Yahukanan. Yahukanan. Who had that song? Who had that? Who had that? Yahukanan. Yeah, there go that bull. Why they hating? Mixed with all of them thrown together. Yahukanan 3:16, 1 Timothy chapter 1 about verse 11. Listen to the book.
For Alahym, so Ahab the Arats
That he did what?
gave his only begotten Ben,
That who?
soever a man in him should not perish, but have everlasting Kai.
Y'all ought to think about that. Y'all need to think about that. Alahym so Ahab the Arats that he gave his only begotten Ben, that whosoever believeth where?
In him
Whosoever among in him
should not perish,
will have who?
everlasting Kai.
Can we understand that? Can we understand that? Oh, let's see. You said who? Adam? Well, I don't know if I quite use him now. Because one thing we want to look at with Ben, Ben. Let's look at Ben. Not from Adam, Adam now. Because when we look at being as over, well, house continues, right? Correct, Akeem? Who can shake their head? Don't just come with that bull, man. All right. So we're looking at house continue. Now, what we got to look at is relationship correlating a dying house, something added so the house would continue. Got it? That's what we look at. That's how we got to look at this. Let's look at it from the statement read in your Ukanon 3:16. The Alahym so ahab the arats that he gave his only begotten being, that whosoever among in him should not perish but have kai. God, that's regular life, everlasting. Now you don't have to say everlasting kai. Kai is going to cover life, everlasting life, right? So then we're going to look at the statement he's going to make. That Alahym, we'll finish that and I'll see if I can get you something else.
For
Alahym so ahab the arats that he gave his only begotten being. Got it? That whosoever amon in him, amon would be the word not believe, amon, because it's going to be secure. Remember that secure. You're securing. We'll work on how that works to securing. Y'all got it? Should not perish but have kai. Now Alahym then sent his being into the arats to
condemn the arat.
declare it to be wrong. Well, declare it can't be repaired. It can't be fixed. Anything been condemned can't be fixed. You can't fix it. A condemned house can't be fixed. You cannot repair a condemned house. They won't even let you. It's stupid. Only thing you do is something. You work in construction. Am I lying? I mean, so you can go and say, well, what? This how I'm gonna fix it. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go in, right? I'm gonna take all the walls out. I'm gonna take everything out, and in the foundation, I'm gonna put down a new foundation. I'm gonna put up new walls, and then I'm gonna put a new roof on it, and I'm gonna fix the condemned house. Did I fix the condemned house? What did I do? I just built the new house. But my mindset will be thinking that I fixed the condemned house. I didn't fix the condemned house. I took the condemned house down and I established a new one. You cannot fix a condemned house. Got it? You can't fix it. So now we need to know that because he's telling us something we need to know. Because you know what? The Christian church will have you to believe. See, that was God's people back then. See, God got a new people now. Then you're saying that God condemned the house, which means we couldn't be fixed. See, this shoots down Christianity. How many of y'all heard it? Years ago, you read they talk about Israel. They said, see, those were God people back then in the Bible. See, then, back then, but God people today, this is how important it is to pay attention when you're reading something. Because they will get you to believe that he condemned them. He didn't. He did not. He did not do that. He couldn't do that because all these things deal with your sense. He works in construction. He gonna know that don't make sense. Because you condemn something, you can't fix it. You gotta get rid of it. You got to. So now what they gotta say, according to what Christianity said, he condemned the house of you. He condemned the house of your code. Which means you got rid of it. It couldn't be repaired. See how important it is to listen to what statements are. He just said that Alahym so ahab did. That he gave his only begotten being. That whosoever among him shouldn't perish, but have everlasting kai. He said Alahym did not send his being into the arats to condemn it. But that the arats through who?
Him
might
be saved.
I wasn't trying to condemn the house. I don't know where people got it from. This what happened if I condemn the house. This is useless. There's no need for a bin. I condemn the house. We just ended everything. This is how dumb This is how stupid it is to be a Christian. Do you understand? If he condemned the house, explain to me where is the value point of a bin? To continue the house. You condemn. Just a six. What's the name? That's it. Let me take this out. Hold this for a second. Like, so now we looked at this is the Alahym sent not his men into the rocks to condemn the rocks, but that the rocks through him might be saved. So that will make us have to erase the intellect that gave us the idea that the bin had come in vain or did not exist. How else did we get the house? The house should have fallen down. It should be over. Y'all got it? Okay. Now we're going to look at a correlation, something to kind of help us understand this a little better, what he just told us he did. When Carrie introduced Adam, which makes sense to use him since he was the bin of Alahym. Y'all do know that, right? We agree? Agree. But so we can differentiate between the two. Because we start looking at a bin, you can have more than one bin, right? Let's see. Aleph Shemuel, 1 Samuel 16, 13. I'm going to go up a little bit. Let's see. Listen to the book.
Then Shemuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the
Back
midst.
me up at verse 9. Make it verse 8. Listen.
Then Jesse called Abinadab and made him pass before Shemuel. And he said, neither hath Yahuwah chosen this.
Yeah.
Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by. And he said, neither hath Yahuwah chosen this. Again, Jesse made 7 of his Beni to pass before Shemuel.
How many?
7 of his Beni to pass before Shemuel.
What happened?
And Shemuel said unto Jesse, Yahuwah hath not chosen these.
What happened?
And Shemuel said unto Jesse,
Hold what you got. You're going to hold it. We're going to finish that. You're going to pick me up at Alahym 1. Alahym 1. Like that, make it 1 and 1. You hold where you at. What you at? 16, 9, 10?
11.
16, 11. Hold it right there. Appreciate it, Dwayne. I heard you. They done got rust on me. Let's see what they tell us. Alahym. Hebrew, they call it 1 and 1. Y'all learn anything?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see. Listen to the book.
Alahym, who at sundry times,
Which is what? Different times. Again, that's what, I mean, even though this is written in English and not saying Shamash, what do you do with the sun? You keep time. That's how they built sundials. Time. They're still showing you Greek discipline because they use the term like sun. Mm-hmm. The Greeks used it for time. We use it for time. That's how they built sundials. We even use them at time. That's how we could tell they had the dial of Ahaz, the dial where they could keep time. That's how they knew exactly how much approximate time or how far it actually went back. When Kazkikyah, when he was sick, and the sign he gave him, he used the sundial, the Shamash time, and he bagged it up. And added 15 more years to him. Speculation is how far did they actually go back? They looked at the clock. They used to Shamash. Y'all know that, huh? I pay attention. So you know what it taught us? To watch the sun. That's what it taught us. To watch the sun. Make sense? No, it don't make sense to you. Allah. Allah. That's what we look for. That light. That's what they look for. It was symbolic to them. Because it actually showed them or gave them direction. Y'all know that? He used what they call a sundial to look at to see how far it went back. Y'all all right? Goodness. They sleeping. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Finish up.
and in divers manners spake.
Divers, see that? In different ways. That's what he did? So at different times and in different ways, he spake.
In time past,
How?
unto the Abba,
See that? Unto the Abbas.
by the Nabiim,
But
hath in these last Yamim
did what?
spoken unto us
By who?
his Ben.
Of whom?
He hath appointed heir of all things,
Listen.
by whom also he made the Arats,
Listen.
who being the brightness of his kabod,
And
the express image of his person,
now you look at Adam. Now you look at Adam. That's close as we got to seeing him. That was it. That's it. When you got on the scene, I mean, that's what we saw. That is Alahym. That's how you would call him. If you saw Adam, you had seen the Abba. I mean, he the only one really declared. Everybody else was a break off from the pattern of one made from Alahym. Anytime you keep making something from something, you're going to lose something. That's right, you're going to keep cutting in it. That's just bottom line. You don't cut it. That's the thing with cocaine. You get it to a pure form, you keep cutting and keep messing with it, you're going to lose something. You're going to lose something. And that's just like you lost something. Isn't that right? And the book told you how you lost your first heart. You did, you lost it. Keep breaking off from something, you're going to lose some of it. Listen what else happened.
and upholding all things,
By the what?
the debar of his power.
What happened?
When he
Can you hear
had
me
by-
in that? He was upholding all things by the bar of his power. Because you know, in the book of Bereshit, every time he kept doing so, you know what he said? And that's what it was. Could you imagine he took part of the Ma'in and put it over the other Ma'in? And that's where it stayed. That's how it is. Huh? He upheld everything. He told all of my, I want y'all to be in one place. When I come, I want you in one place. And that's what happened. And I want dry ground to appear. Everything, can you imagine something? Everything he said is still doing what he told it to do except for us. Everything. The sun ain't changed. The sun don't go shining down from the ground. It's still up. The Shema, everything, all the cuckoo beings said, listen, man done come and go and lie, he done destroy. Everything's still holding still by his little bar. Can you imagine that? So I can get a consolation. So when he came, he destroyed the whole world. Where were the stars at? They're still holding. Everything's still holding. Did he destroy the Yahweh too? Did he? Everything's still holding. Everything's still holding. Except for us. Huh? It's our heart, man. He remained the same. Ain't that right? His years don't fail. Still remain the same. I'm following a man like that. I got to have confidence. I live in a world where people have guns and knives and drugs and poisons and all these different type of things and diseases. I got to believe that his debacle still keep me. You know, when you saw the Malachi, you know he referred to them as the cuckoo bean. And he also told the Malachi with his bins, his beni, showing me he can keep his beni. Regardless of all this stuff going on, all this thing, he kept them. A person like me got to have something like that to hold on to. I'm real doubtful of things. A lot of things are questionable for me. So I need consolations like that. I mean, think about it, man, destroyed the whole world. Cuckoo beans was still him. Shamash, he didn't get this out of new Shamash. Same one since Barashit. I got to have that type of confidence that when he give me his bin, he tell me, this is my bin, the same one. Through all these ages and time, in different ways, at different times, I've operated. And I kept everything up by the Debal. My Debal has that type of power that it can still keep. Listen.
When he had by himself
did what?
Purged our kata.
Yes.
Sat down on the right hand of the majesty on Rosh.
Yes.
Being made so much better than the Malachi.
Being made so much better than the Malachi. What happened?
As he hath by inheritance
what?
Obtained a more excellent Shem than they.
Go ahead.
For unto which of the Malachi said he at any time,
what did he say?
Thou art my Ben, this Yum have I begotten thee.
What else happened?
Again, I will be to him a Abba,
and
he shall be to me a Ben.
Yes.
And again, when he bringeth in the first begotten into the Arats,
what did he do?
He saith, and let all the Malachi of Alahym shall call him.
That's good. I hope you got it. Let me finish what I got over here. Aleph, Shamuel, 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 11. Listen to the book.
And Shamuel said unto Jesse, Are here all thy bani? And he said, There remaineth yet the youngest.
What happened?
And behold, he keepeth the sheep.
Y'all hear this? Listen.
And Shamuel said unto Jesse,
What?
Send and fetch him.
Why?
For we will not sit down till he come hither. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and withal of a beautiful countenance, and tube to look to. And Yahuwah said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he. Then Shamuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his Aki. And the Ruach of Yahuwah came upon Daoud.
And you ain't gonna believe what happened. And then all the Beni of Yashin, they had to shikar him. They all had to shikar him. He anointed him in the midst of his Aki. All of them had to shikar him. Y'all know where he had these been? These been in at different times.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all were coming through by one person. In them last Yamin, he decided to speak to them by his men, Daoud. Y'all all right? Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Daoud was the youngest. In them last Yamin, he decided to speak to him through his men, whom he had appointed heir of all things. He just made Daoud inherit all of Yasharal. Mm-hmm. He got Yehuda and he got Yasharal. I don't know what y'all doing. I guess y'all stay asleep. I mean, I got to have something I can kind of understand it about, right? Barashik, chapter 41. Say about verse 40. Genesis, they call it. Chapter 41, verse 40. Listen to the book.
Thou shalt be over my Beth.
Back me up at verse 30, 36, 37, 36. Listen.
And that food shall be for store to the Beth against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the Beth of Mizraim, that the Beth perish not through the famine. And the thing was tube in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his Abadim. And Pharaoh said unto his Abadim, can we find such a one as this is, a Ish, in whom the Ruach of Alahym is? And Pharaoh said unto Yusaph, for as much as Alahym have shewed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my Beth. And
take them back up to verse 30. Where's the verse 36 again, please? Yes, sir.
And that food shall be for store to the Beth against the 7 years of famine.
For what reason?
Which shall be in the Beth of Mizraim.
That shall be in the house of Mizraim. For what reason?
Which shall be in the land of Mizraim.
Yeah.
That the Beth perish not through
like
the famine.
Alahym so Ahab the Arach, that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believe in him should not, what was that again? Perish? I couldn't think of nothing I can correlate that with. I couldn't just imagine nothing else I can correlate that with. You ain't gonna believe where he want that food at. In the house. He want that food in the house. It ain't gonna make sense to condemn the house. Now if you don't want them to perish, then it's not gonna be a wise decision to condemn the house. The best thing gonna be able to do is to give them a bin so the house can continue. Y'all understand that? That Yahusha came to give them food, lakam, bread, so they wouldn't perish, so they could live. Can y'all believe it? He said what the food was going to be for? For store in the house, so the house wouldn't perish. Can y'all imagine that? Goodness. 644, Yehukanan. Yehukanan. Man, there go that bull, man. 644, Yehukanan, they call John. Make sure Mike don't go to sleep. You know that song? Mike used to make your way down here too for the Muhaddid, didn't it? For a brother that stole everything. And so you can be right there. You can't keep nothing. Isn't that right? Might want to do like the man told one of my, I worked with this guy one time, man. He was going out to Savannah. They had evacuation. All roads were coming out. Nothing going down. They saw that hurricane was coming through there. They were going to destroy everything coming through. He said, called our boss that night. He said, listen, I had to go down there. I had to get my grandmama, my mama, my son, and my daughter, because they're evacuating down there, and the people going to get killed. He said, man, you might well come on to work. They'll be wiped out by the time you get down there. You know, he said, man, there you go, that bull, blood. You know, Man told him flat, so he might as well come on to work, man. They'll be wiped out by the time you get out there. And all right, man was just looking at it. It's amazing, but man was just looking at it. He had a job to do. And he worried about them. You need to come. Just like he asked Carl, love it, I harm them more than you harm me. Or be distraught, be torn, be hurt by tools and clothes and shoes and cars. Why people ain't no hard about missing Yahuwah? If somebody steal this away from you, this is the plan of salvation for us, y'all. Although we get tested on stuff to see where you at. Don't be no fool. I know why stuff happen to see where your heart at. Man, I lose more than I gain. Especially with y'all joking. Y'all the worst. Y'all got some of the worst damn memory I done seen. If I say I'm gonna give you something here, you remember that though. You owe me some shit. I ain't pay you. Hell no, you ain't pay me. I pray about it. I know. It's bad, man. I follow. It's bad, man. But you know what? I don't let that stop me from coming and doing my job. I don't let that stop me from doing my job. Shit, but y'all done me wrong. Like, ain't all that something. Just wrong. Do things ought not to be done in Yahusha. It shouldn't be done in Yahusha. But I still come in and do my job, though. I don't let that come in and have me distraught why I can't come in and don't know what's going on. I don't let that stuff be my heart. I was hard to have everything I done got. I done lost. Especially dealing with y'all people. Y'all put a nigga way in the hole. All pairs like shit ain't happening. Your old shit ain't shit nothing. I just keep moving, son. Shoot the shit to me, backstab me, everything I do. I just keep on serving. I don't do like y'all do. Y'all be so distraught, y'all don't know what to do. You be all out of pocket, out of character. I ain't got time to keep moving. And I got to be saved. It's got to be saved. That's how I'm going to make it in through much tribulation. That's how I'm going to make it in through much tribulation. I understand when other people make excuses, they can't get their stuff together, can't get it in, because you got to look at where your heart at. I told you where a man treasures here. Where's the heart at? What gets you most distraught and gets you tore up and distraught? That's where your heart at. He done told you where to set your affection and not on things on the horizon. You're supposed to take that little stuff down here. You can't buy the gun and keep all this stuff they got. It's just being honest, you can't keep it. The more you get, the more this stuff you get, the more this stuff pull you out. I got a lot of stuff. I got stuff for a reason. My kids tell a lot of stuff I do, I don't be needing none of that shit. I don't be needing nothing. None of that, a lot of stuff I do, I don't need absolutely nothing. I don't need 1 iota business. I don't need no time to do nothing that I don't. But a lot of stuff I do for my family, because I heart my family. I want to see things happen for you guys. I want to see things work for you. We can click and connect things. Everybody I got to hear, these people don't have no same mind. These people a lot of folks won't put and do what I do for stuff. Y'all don't, no. Nobody go to Ishmael. I do more for people they do for their own black ass. Yeah. That's true. I don't know why these folks do stuff. I try to pull these folks together and say do something. They ask me, no, can't think, can't do shit somewhere else. I'm like, all right. Y'all can't make it unless you work together. You gotta put a lot of that stuff aside. Listen, I lost on a lot of stuff. At the end of the day, I don't lose like that though. At the end of the day, he keep me going. Already keep me going just so I can shoot the bird at somebody who really wants to see me fall. Give me just enough strength on my dying day. Get it up just before I leave. I don't even do that, just for you. Just for the people that hate me home, they be in a fight trying to fix my finger. Can't knock it out, it won't break. They put me in there, I just push that little door, because I ain't going to go. I want that little door to put my hand, just shoot that bird, just fall out of it. I'll be like D. White, I'm gonna shoot him the bird. Wow, he said like Ray, no Ray over here, that ain't even the bird. I don't know where that is. Where you at, Ray though? Ain't that right? You handed something, he already be gripped up for it. I ain't mad at him. He said, ain't that all right? Ain't that right? Ain't that all right? And that Joe got a permanent cup holder. No, I mean not like, hold on, for y'all trying to make it like, wow, y'all trying to make it like I'm out there. No, he know what I mean. No, that's right. Ain't that right? Woo, that's all right. Ain't that right? Ain't nobody mad at him. Hold on, what you got? Ain't that right? Get a little suit jacket, just hang that junk and just walk around the house with it. You tell me about that can, I can just hang it on there like that. They got his own coat right there. Flip that thing up there. Hang a coat like that. They maybe somebody hanging on. This ain't up pretty son. Well, I sure wish he hang on humpback sweater. Ball and just dump that junk, just crane that thing over somewhere. He like that attention, don't you? He don't know attention. I need to take. I'm being a psychiatrist. He ain't mental, but you know what? We all got them little deficiencies. It's a deficiency. It's a deficiency. Let me tell you something. I know all my members. Now, he not mental now. I'm not saying that mental. But we all got that little part where we like that attention like that. He get that sweater and put that thing high. That sweater, his sweater, it be going like that. Then that shit just grab the glass out there like, breathe, breathe, breathe. He try to get it, cut that shit off. It's hard. This shit be sweating. You know what I'm saying? This shit be sweating. The sweat be, it's dry. It be hot. Be like, you don't cut me off. Yeah, sir. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. You know they happen like that. That's a attention grabber, though, ain't it? He said, so once y'all getting that accolade, like, hey, I feel good. You know what I'm saying? It help him out a little bit. Because we all special. We all got them. You know what people do? Let me tell you something. There's nobody here. If I went and sat down and talked to a psychiatrist, they probably quit their job. But, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, you can have problems. Everybody got problems. Everybody got something. We all got something we like or we want or we do to get attention. Everybody have them. He uses a shirt or a sweater. It's just a man what he can do with 2 pieces of thread. You know how he can compact it around his body, you know what I'm saying? But he does it. It's like a talent, you know, right? But yeah, we all got, there's nobody here ain't got, how many of y'all here don't have something? Everybody got something, so you stop it. Man, you hugged me about 20 times in a night. Ain't nobody getting by that right. We all out there. You raise both your hands, you know, all of us got something. Hey, we human. And people make some things a dope. You got people that's psychotic. That's a different, not psychotic. You're not psychotic, but some people like psychotic. And that's not the issue. It's just we like attention. Everybody do. Right? Yahusha like attention. Why you think about a man walking around and he emulating every alphabet. What are you trying to get? People attention? It's an attention grabber. Let you learn the alphabet, that's your communication, and he come along and demonstrate your alphabet. It's an attention grabber. Guess I don't think about stuff like that, huh? Don't worry about it. All right, finish up what you got. Talk about the land in Bereshit 41. What verse you left off at? 47? 37? Who?
37.
37. 41, 37. Bereshit, they call Genesis. Listen to the book.
And the thing was tube in the eyes of Pharaoh.
What happened?
And in the eyes of all his abadim.
Mm-hmm.
And Pharaoh said unto his abadim, can we find such a one as this is, each in whom the ruach of Alahym is?
Yeah.
And Pharaoh said unto Yusaph,
what did he say?
For as much as Alahym have shewed thee all this,
yeah,
there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my beth.
See that? See that? Listen.
And according unto thy debar shall all my arm be ruled.
See that? Listen. Hold what you got. Pick up and say that 15, 14, your Ukanan. Oh, I didn't finish your Ukanan 644, did I? Well, get that. Let's get this, your Ukanan 15, 14. Get me this Ukanan 644. I'm pretty sweat. I had got me for a minute. They'll come in with some right fit clothes, they're going to fall off. That joke going to be so comfortable, he ain't going to know what to do. Listen to the book.
No ish can come to me except
15, 14, and we'll come back.
Okay.
Not that I can't work that already, you know what I'm saying? Listen to the book. 15, 14.
If ye shall ask anything in my ye are my friends, if you do whatsoever I amar you.
You hear what he said? Did y'all hear that? You're his companion if you do whatever he tell you. Again, what was it again?
Ye are my friends
If it do what?
if ye do whatsoever I amar you.
That sound all right? Listen what happened.
Henceforth
What you doing?
I call you not Abadim,
But what you doing?
for the Abad knoweth not what his Adon doeth,
Well, what happened?
but I have called you friends.
You hear what he did? I've called you a companion. Listen why.
For all things that I have heard of my Abba,
What did you do?
I have made known unto you.
That's good. Y'all understand? 41, 37, by Rashid. Then I'll come back to 644. Hold me 644. This is 41, 37 by Rashid, they call Genesis. Listen to the book.
And the thing was tube in the eyes of Pharaoh,
What happened?
and in the eyes of all his Abadim.
Listen.
And Pharaoh said unto his Abadim,
What did he say?
Can we find such a one as this is,
See this? We're trying to find somebody like this. Like what?
a Ish in whom the Ruach of Alahym is?
You said who now?
A Ish
A man
in whom the Ruach of Alahym
that
is.
has the Ruach of Alahym. What about him?
And Pharaoh said unto Yahusaph,
What did he say?
For as much as Alahym have shewed thee all this, there
You
is
do know that you his friend, companion, if you do whatever he tell you. And from that point, he won't call you Abadim, because Abadim don't know what he do. He said, but I call you a friend, a companion, because all things I heard of my Abba, I made them known unto you. He was trying to let us know that he going to set me over the house. This is what Pharaoh just told y'all. When they were looking for somebody, he said, for as much as Alahym done showed you all this, and he was trying to tell y'all that everything he done heard of him, he done made it known to me. So who's going to be better to put over the house? Did he show it to you? Did you know this before I told it to you? He was trying to show them. Nobody knew it. And Pharaoh was trying to show them, is it any one of y'all should have this job? Saying none of y'all knew it? Since he the one that knew it, and he the one told it to us, and Alahym showed it to him, wouldn't it make sense for him to be over the house?
Right. That's right.
In a smart way, he just sat there and just told them something they should have been catching, they've been reading. I caught it. You just said he done showed you all things. How about you be in charge? Since he done showed it to you anyway. And especially when you look at, let's see what happened at Ukana 129. Let's see what happened. I'm trying to get y'all finished. This thing, you know it right.
Yes, sir.
I don't think people understand just what the man's position is. I mean, who would better solidify the position? Listen to the book, 129.
The next Yom,
What happened?
Yeuchanan seeth Yahusha coming unto him,
What happened?
and saith, Behold, the Lamb of Alahym,
They do what?
which taketh away the kata of the Arats.
Or we'll say the condemnation. Can we say that? Because condemnation will lead you to perish.
Yeah.
If you can't save a condemned house, you can't save a condemned person. I kept you from getting condemned. So here go the East that just took away the condemnation of the Arats. Who is this?
This is he,
Whom?
I said,
After who?
me,
Cometh the who?
a Ish,
That is what?
which is preferred before me.
Tell him why, son.
For he was before me.
And did you know him?
I knew him not.
Pharaoh didn't know him before that. Did y'all know that? Pharaoh did not know him. They had to tell Pharaoh about him, the people that was incarcerated with him. And found out he was preferred before me, and I didn't even know him. But listen what happened.
But that he should be made manifest to Yasharal.
So how happened?
Therefore,
What about you?
I am come immersing with Mem,
Well, what happened?
and Yeuchanan bear record,
And did what?
saying, I saw the Ruach descending from Shamayim
You see that? You know, pay attention. I saw the Ruach ascend from Shamayim and did what?
like a dove,
Just like a dove. And what it do?
and it abode upon him.
And what happened?
And I knew him not.
But tell me what happened.
But he that sent me
Did
to,
what?
to immerse with Mem,
Did what?
the same said unto me,
What did he say?
upon whom thou shalt see the Ruach descending and remaining on him.
Tell me about it.
The same is he which immerses with the Ruach HaKodesh.
That's good. 41. 37. Barashit. I still got 644. I got to clear that up too. Listen to the book.
And the thing was tube in the eyes of Pharaoh.
It was good in his eyes. Tell him what happened.
And in the eyes of all his Abadim.
And all his Abadim.
And Pharaoh said unto his Abadim.
Because you got to ask yourself, when he said here, he brought that man in and told all the Malachite that all of them should call him. I can say of a true heart, they were good with it. Especially since you don't know more than he do. Especially since I ain't showed you nothing anyway. It was good in all their eyes. Listen.
And Pharaoh said unto his Abadim,
What is he saying?
Can we find such a one as this is?
And we learned from the book in the 5th chapter of the book of Yahu, in the 22nd chapter of the book of Yusaph that they call Ezekiel. Do y'all know he kept saying he was doing? He kept saying he was searching for a man. Now you understood what happened. You know why he was searching for a land? Because something troubled him. Don't y'all know Pharaoh was troubled? The word Pharaoh is actually Greek. It means great house. Pharaoh means great house. It's actually Greek. This is not me. See, a lot of these people telling me, these folks don't know shit. Don't pay them no attention. They look smart. Standing there and carry a bunch of books and dumb as hell. They don't know what they're doing. I had a guy trying to preach me there, old man, he was just talking. He said, just right here, just going. I corrected him a little bit. Finally got to start. He just quoting something. I said, no, it go like that. He said, that's the way you say it. But you could say it. I said, yep. Just wrong. That just get him just brain out real. He didn't know that. It didn't take long just showing a little bit. He didn't know nothing real quick. I said, everything you were saying because you actually don't know. I bet you really don't know what you're talking about. He just started bamboozling a bunch of stuff together. It made no sense. It was partly right. I knew what he was trying to say, but shit was so wrong and so bungled up that somebody didn't know better. They'd have thought he knew what he was talking about, except for me.
That's right.
He was talking to an expert. I knew of his truth. He didn't know what he was talking about. He told me the Shabbat end at 6 o'clock. I said, yep. Exactly. Good old 7-day Adventist. Hey, people get you started. They unenjoy the book, so they got a zeal. They ain't according to no knowledge. Yeah. That's what we're trying to correct. We don't need to, we can't afford, no. Do we know everything? No. But we just can't afford to sit here and be blatantly ignorant, especially when he told you what's dangerous. That if we willfully sin, after that we come into the knowledge of the Almighty. You know they missed what happened while he had to get out the gun, didn't they? Which meant he did what? He willfully sinned, which meant wasn't no sacrifice for it. He had to get out. That's what we understood. I've been all over the place with everything. I didn't want y'all to think I forgot. I was trying to show you he will because Ka'ua told you that. She said, oh, no. He told us don't even touch it lest we die. And he asked him. He said, did you eat of the fruit, the pottery of which I told you not to eat? He said, she gave it to me, and I did eat. And he asked her, what have you done? She said, well, the serpent beguiled me. I ain't got no sacrifice for this. Just willfully sinning. That's how important it is for you to know your book and understand when you make decisions, it can really be detrimental to you. There's some people can't get in. I can teach you about that too. I teach how all that work. Because a lot of y'all sitting here now, you struggling with, I've been willfully sinning. That's why he paid me. I tell you what, can we find such a man? That's how he was trying to tell them. They were doing the same thing you're doing. There's a lot of speculating. A lot of speculating. Huh? That's why we're here. No time, no speculating. We're going through this book doing, listen, we use it for our baby. That's what we're trying to find out. What was written for, what was giving me comfort? Because I done willfully sin too. Now, he told me, listen, you're going to need to go back and look because I left something for a reason. He already knew what I was going to do. He knew what you were going to do. And some people, he swore they ain't getting in. Y'all all right? That's why Shaul asked you, shall we sin because we're not under the law? He said no. Because somebody going to say, in that case, he knew what I was going to do, Leon. He know. I'm thinking about stealing some shit now. No. But come on, how many people go to this stream? That's all you need. That's the detriment of Christianity. Since he already know him, he know I'm finna tell a lie anyway. I might well go and tell it. No, he know a lie gonna come up, but he know the restriction is the boss supposed to keep you. Otherwise, you're gonna be in condemnation. And once you get into condemnation, you're gonna be in a state where I can't save you. See, that's why we're here. We're trying to fix it. We're trying to make sure we don't get ourselves. You can put yourself in a state of condemnation. You're in trouble. I teach y'all that. That's what I'm here for. Ain't that right? That's what I'm here for. Don't let your law be overcharged. Because I ain't giving you no license to sin either. That's right. Listen to the book.
Can we find such a one as this is, a Ish in whom the Ruach of Alahym is?
Listen.
And Pharaoh said unto Yusaph, for as much as Alahym hath shewed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my Beth. And according unto thy debar shall all my arm be ruled.
Listen.
Only in the throne will I be greater than thou.
Listen.
And Pharaoh said unto Yusaph, see, I have set thee over all the Beth of Mizraim. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Yahush's hand and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen and put a gold chain about his neck. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. And they cried before him, bowed the knee, and he
made... That makes sense. Do that make sense? It does? Listen what happened.
And he...
No, that's fine. You got an explanation. Listen. Tell them what's happened.
And he made him a ruler over all the Beth of Mizraim. And Pharaoh said unto Yusaph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no Ish lift up his hand or foot in all the Beth of Mizraim.
Listen.
And Pharaoh called Yahush's Shem Zaphnath Paneah, and he gave him to wife Asenath, the Bath of Potiphar.
They don't know what the name meant. Because it's not Abari. The last part of that name they believe to be either life or either to be revealer of secrets. That's what they believe the last part of that name to be. Life or revealer of secrets. Well, it makes sense to you to find it's not an Abari name. Why would Pharaoh be speaking Abari? They believe the last part of the name to be life or revealer of secrets. Because nobody else knew it. Listen.
The Bath of Potiphar, Kohan of On, and Yusaph went out over all the Beth of Mizraim.
And what happened?
And Yusaph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, Malak of Mizraim. And Yusaph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the Beth of Mizraim.
What happened?
And in the 7 plenteous years, the Adumah brought forth by handfuls. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years, which were in the Beth of Mizraim, and laid up the food in the cities, the food of the field, which was round about every city, laid he up in the same. And Yusaph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number. And unto Yusaph were born 2 Beni before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the Bath of Potiphar, Kohan of On, bare unto him. And Yusaph called the Shem of the firstborn Manasseh.
Why?
For Alahym, said he, hath made me forget all my toil and all my Abba Beth. And the Shem of the second called he Ephraim,
Yeah.
for Alahym have caused me to be fruitful in the Beth of my affliction.
Yeah.
And the 7 years of plenteousness that was in the Beth of Mizraim were ended.
Come on.
And the 7 years of dearth began to come according as Yusaph had said,
Yeah.
and the dearth was in all Beth, but in all the Beth of Mizraim there was Lakam. And when all the Beth of Mizraim was famished, the arm cried to Pharaoh for Lakam, and Pharaoh said unto all the Mizraim, Go unto Yahusha, what he saith to you, do.
That's what he told him. He was trying to make him a friend. He said, you my friend if you do whatsoever I command you. And Pharaoh won't call you no Abedin. I'll call you a companion. Because all things I heard of my father, my Abba, or Pharaoh, I made it known to you. That's what he was doing. Everything he was doing was from him. At 6:44, Yochanan. Listen to the book. They call it John 6:44. Listen.
No ish can come to me,
Except,
the Abba, which hath sent me, draw him.
let me ask y'all a question. Now, when the 7 years of plenty had ended, do y'all remember where the people went? Who? Where did they go to? And what did Pharaoh do? Do this make sense to y'all? Because I can't find a way to connect this. What did he say again?
No ish can come to me, except the Abba, which hath sent me, draw him.
And tell him what you'll do.
And I will raise him up at the last yom.
See that? Makes sense. Tell him what happened.
It is written in the Nabaim,
And what's going to happen.
and they shall be all taught of Alahym.
See that? That makes sense? Yes, sir. Because you learned that from Kaul. Alahym has said to not even touch it. That's what she said. He declared the end of it by Rashid. The serpent asked her, Alahym had told you not to eat of it? She said, not only he said don't eat it, he told us not to touch it. It's written in Nabaim they were all going to be taught of it. It's just, I don't know what y'all doing. Are y'all conscious? I know y'all tired. Do y'all understand this is y'all salvation? That you got to get this? That man just told you it's written up, they all going to be taught of him. That woman told you she was taught of him. Okay. Listen.
Every each, therefore, that hath heard and hath learned of the Abba,
The what?
cometh unto me.
You know what he told me about the Cain and Yusaph? Oh, that was a parallel to how it's going to work for you. What y'all think these people going to do when their family hit? These people got to come see him. They got to come see him. Listen.
Not that any ish hath seen the Abba, save he which is of Alahym.
See that? Listen.
He hath seen the Abba.
Yeah.
Aman, I say
So
unto
we
you.
can say Adam has seen him. That's how I knew to hide from him. He has seen him. That's how I knew to hide from him. I know when he walks. I know when he vibrates. I can hear him ticking. He already knew. I've seen him. I don't know what y'all doing. Don't worry about it. This is why we're in great distress today, because we don't know and we keep missing signs. Come on, finish this up so I can get finished.
I say unto you, he that amon on me hath Kai.
Listen.
I am the bread of Kai.
I'm the who?
Bread of Kai.
This don't make sense either. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. Y'all hear this? 41:34. Barashit. Tell y'all, people spend too much time trying to be deep. All you gotta do is be right.
That's right. That's right.
Everything I give y'all is simple to understand. Well, all the other books I'm using try to help y'all see this. I'll tell you, simple stuff your alphabet telling you how this works. It makes sense. Pharaoh was concerned about his best. The only way to save and secure his best was to get a son. Somebody so it could continue. Listen.
Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the Beth, and take up the fifth part of the Beth of Mitzrayim in the 7 plenteous years.
Yeah.
And let them gather all the food of those 2 years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities, and that food shall be for store to the Beth against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the Beth of Mitzrayim, that the Beth perish not through the famine.
So now why did he send us his men? Why did he send us his men? So we wouldn't perish. So the bin was going to have to be lakam, bread, representing food. The zen. Notice what number they keep telling you, 7. What do we use? What is our 7 alphabet? The zen. It represents food. The man keep giving you 7. 7 of plenty, 7 of famine. This is how far we are. Listen.
And the thing was tube in the eyes of Pharaoh,
It was good in his eyes, in his own. Listen.
and in the eyes of all his abadim.
So what happened?
And Pharaoh said unto his abadim,
What did he say?
can we find such a one as this is, a ish in whom the ruach of Alahym is? And Pharaoh said unto Yusaph, for as much as Alahym have shewed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my Beth. And
So he just appointed him as his son. In Abarim chapter 1, y'all read, he told you whom he has appointed heir over all things, and upholding all things by the bar of his power. When he said Yusaph up and they tried to go around him, he sent them straight back. I hadn't changed my word. Oh, goodness, y'all sleep. Have some understanding. I got to see it this way. I got the 5 senses. I got 5 senses. It's got to make sense. I got to be able to see this. I can't have no hoping around in my mind running like that. I got to be able to see it. Everything I got is secure. Well, okay. Call Allah. Twelve and 9. You call it Ecclesiastes. Listen to the book.
And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the armed knowledge.
That's what he did. Moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. What else did he do?
Yea, he gave to heed.
So which means all things he done heard, he made known to them. So he had to make sure he listened. What happened?
And sought out and set in order many mashali.
That's what he was doing, setting in order. A lot of adage, things that were short but true, concise. They got right to the point. But he looked at these weren't in a proper format. You know how we saw that? That's all an adage is, concise. Concise is going to be something quick and to the point, and it's true. Got it? Quick, to the point, true, concise. That's what he did. All he kept taking a lot of concise points and putting them in order. Did we see that? Oreo, 24. 24, 25. Matter of fact, make it 24. 24, 22. Right quick. Let's run through. Listen to the book. They call it Luke 24, 22. Listen.
Yea, and certain Alahym also of our company made us astonished, which were early at the sepulchre. And when they found not his body, they came, saying that they had also seen a carzoon of Malachi, which said that he was Kai. And certain of them which were with us went to the sepulchre, and found it even so as the Alahym had said, but him they saw not. Then he said unto them, O fools, and slow of lob to aman all that the Nabiim have spoken. Ought not Mashiach to have suffered these things, and to enter into his kabod?
Where did he start at?
At Mushah.
He started at Mushah. And what else?
And all the Nabiim
What did he do?
expounded unto them in all the scriptures
The what?
things concerning himself.
That's called, he said in order, marshallese. Concise adage. That's the concise. All he kept doing was just going back through. So, which means if he was setting marshallese in order, meaning they did have truth, you just had in the wrong place. And we know this because Kahalaf told us. Moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught him not. Yea, gave good heed, and sought out and set in order many marshals. So you had to let him talk. If I see where your illness at first. You start saying we suppose it had been him. They said a lot of stuff they were saying. They said they right. He was supposed to redeem Yasharal. And they know about what happened, how he had been delivered, and he had been crucified. All that was true. And they said, besides all that, this Yom is the third Yom, the Shalashi Yom, which all that was correct. So at that point, they looked at, you know what? Since ain't nobody more wiser than me and more discreet, how about I set this in order? How about I take all this stuff y'all just put out y'all mouth and fix it for you right quick? That's what he did. So he said, first thing I need to go back to Barashit. We know he had to go back to Barashit. If he didn't go back to Barashit, that means he left a whole book out. He just said he was going to start at Mushah. So where was the book of Barashit? If he started at Mushah, he left a lot of information out. If there's other books. He started at Mushah, because that's going to cover your law. They had law in the garden. Why would you start at Mushah, if you got some other information? You'll start there, because that's where your information going to start at. So he started at Mushah and started setting things in order. The adage, the marshali. Y'all got it? Well, I got you home so I can get finished. Kahalaf 12 and 9. Moreover,
because the preacher was wise,
he still
taught the knowledge,
and yea,
he gave to heed,
and did what?
sought out
And set
in order
many.
Mashali.
And what happened?
The preacher sought to find out acceptable dabarim.
Pay attention. He sought out to set. What was it he sought out?
He sought to find out acceptable dabarim.
Because when you deal with acceptable, you got to deal with what? Time. You got to deal with time. You got to deal with time. That's why I told you how he did things by sun-dry. Why would the book tell you in knowing the time? Because you got to deal with what's acceptable. I come in here with some shorts on and a tank top outside. Is that acceptable? That's not for the time, is it? I'm going to need to put on a coat, a hat, possibly some gloves and a scarf. Why? Because of the times. Are y'all all right? That's what he started. Why we put this in order? They just told him why to do it. They said, besides all this Yom is Shalashi. It's time for me to set this in order. It's time for me to set it in order. Y'all all right? Finish this up.
And that which was written was upright.
Y'all don't know about that. That which was written was upright. What else?
Even the dabarim of Amat,
Listen.
the dabarim of the wise,
Or
as gold.
in sight. Y'all know what they do in sight. You know how we know it worked and that's him doing it? Because we got through speaking and believe what they're saying. Did not our law do what? Well, while he did what? By the what? And what did he open? He opened the scriptures. It proved out it couldn't have been, it definitely could have been Solomon. It was him. Nobody told you to search it. He said, if you think you have Kai, they're talking about me. That's why he told you he was Alahym. Because food was what was being used to keep those people from perishing. So that was all symbolic to him. That's why he told you, I am the Alahym. That if a man eat me, he ain't gonna believe what's gonna happen. He gonna live. Because those people were going to die if they didn't get food. So when he came and told them that he was Alahym, they would have to revert back to what happened in Mizraim. That those people were going to die if they didn't get food. That all those people had to come see one man. That ain't hard to believe. Come on. It's stuff you shouldn't even be believing. Because you don't know enough to believe it. You don't know how to confirm what you believe in. Listen to the book.
The dabarim of the wise are as gold,
They do what?
and as nails fastened by the masters of assemblies,
They do what?
which are given from one ra'ah. And further,
See, that's important for you too, huh? That's important for you. That's important for you. Your Ukanai, 2025. Make it 2022. We closing it up. I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all stay home tomorrow. Don't even worry about coming. Tell I didn't go to work with you Thursday in the morning. Make it 2022. Listen to the book.
And when he had said this, he breathed on them and saith unto them, receive ye the Ruach HaKudash. Whosoever kaltah ye remit, they are remitted unto them.
And
Whosoever kaltah ye retain, they are retained.
what happened?
But Thomas, one of the 12, called Didymus, was not with them when Yahusha came.
What happened?
The other Methodist therefore said unto him, we have seen the Adon. But he saith unto them, except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I will not aman. And after 8 Yamim again, his Methodists were within, and Thomas with them. Then came Yahusha, the door being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, Shalom be unto you.
Yeah.
Then saith he to Thomas, reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither thy hand, and thrust it into my side, and be not faithless, but aman.
Mm-hmm.
And Thomas answered and said unto him, my Adon and my Alahym.
You see that? Don't worry about that. At the book of Ukanai, chapter 19, verse 28. Listen to the book.
after this, Yahusha, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scripture might be fulfilled, saith, I thirst. Now there was set a vessel full of vinegar, and they filled a sponge with vinegar, and put it upon hyssop, and put it to his mouth. And when Yahusha therefore had received the vinegar, he said, It is finished. and he bowed his head and gave up the Ruach.
And what happened?
The Yahudim, therefore, because it was the preparation
So then what happened?
that the body should not remain upon the toot on the Shabbat Yom,
Yeah.
for that Shabbat Yom was a Shabbatum, besought Pilate that their legs might be broken and that they might be taken away.
So what happened?
Then came the soldiers and brake the legs of the first
And what happened?
and of the other,
Yeah.
which was crucified with him.
What happened?
But when they came to Yahusha and saw that he was dead already,
What did they do?
they brake not his legs.
So what happened?
But one of the soldiers with a spear pierced his side,
Yeah.
and forthwith came there out blood and mem,
Listen.
and he that saw it bear record.
Y'all hear this? And
He that saw it
did what?
bear record,
And
and his record is Amat,
how?
and he knoweth that he saith Amat,
So what happened?
that ye might Aman.
See that? So that you might have won. So what happened?
For these things were done,
For what reason?
that the scripture should be fulfilled.
Like what?
A bone of him shall not be broken.
Because the scripture got to be fulfilled. A bone of him should not be broken. Go ahead, son.
And again,
On
another
what?
scripture saith,
What did the other one say?
they shall look on him,
They shall do what?
look on him
Of whom?
they pierced.
Good. Because now you're going to deal with the ooh. The ooh means secure. That's what it is, a peg. That's how you hold a tent up in the house. That's how they kept him up there. That's how you keep a house up with the tent. You use the ooh. It later changed to this format that they gave you, and it became so you can lock around it. See? And the modern is here. That's what they kept trying to show y'all, the ooh, the peg. If y'all had paid attention in the 9th chapter of the book of Ezra, he even tried to tell you what he did. That he left us a ooh. Yahtad. Yahtad. It's a peg. That's what you needed. That's what give you Aman. That's why they were Aman, because Aman means secure. It's only secure because of the ooh. That's how you hold a tent. You ever seen people put a tent up and they'll take and they'll put a peg? It also means you can add. He had to have it. See, he already saw the defect was going to happen. When it came down, when he started to talk about us, he started talking, wasn't it the 49th chapter? Say that the 49th chapter of the book of Alahym. 49:1. Let me see what he said. Say that 49:1 is what I'm thinking. Listen to the book.
Hear this,
Who?
all ye arm,
Yeah.
give ear, all ye inhabitants of the Arats,
Pay attention.
both low and high.
See that? Low and high. He was up. The thieves were with him and the people down below. Who else?
Rich and poor together.
What you gonna do?
My mouth shall speak of wisdom,
And
the meditation of my lob shall be of understanding.
what happened?
I will incline mine ear to a marshallee.
And what are you gonna do?
I will open my kashak saying upon the harp.
Listen.
Wherefore should I Yara in the Yamim of Rasha,
Listen.
when the iniquity of my heels shall compass me about?
Listen.
They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches,
What happened?
none of them can by any means redeem his ark.
You see that? He said, not one of them can redeem him. So it made sense when you came down and you would have actually fastened him down with the ooh. Because the ooh mean add. So if you ain't got enough to redeem nobody, you ain't going to believe what's going to happen. You're going to need to add something. That's why it was important for them to sit there and watch him and watch the nails in him. Because that's the ooh. That's what actually secured the house. That's why it was written in the scripture, they were going to have to look on him whom they had, because they knew what the U meant. It means secure. It'll fasten. And when you got it, you can add. How is you going to get all these people? How is you going to get all these people? You're going to need to add some, aren't you? Come on, folks. When you're doing subtraction, you got big numbers. You don't believe you had to go borrow something from somewhere else and add it in order to get enough that you can take something away from it. You learn that in mathematics, don't you? Well, mathematics, you got to look at one man going to come and save all these people. You don't need to add something to them, ain't you? Am I asleep? That's why I try to tell people. Listen, a lot of people don't know they think they know. A lot of people don't know they think they know. There's too much going on. He's doing too much. You think these people just rubbing on this man's hand for no reason? These people watching because this solidified among. This solidified their amuna that has the ooh in it. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. See, the ooh adds something. You don't believe what's gonna happen. It's gonna get brighter. It's going to get brighter. Ooh. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Y'all will be all right. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep teaching. But for you to get it, you'll pay attention, you'll catch it, and you'll see how little you don't know. How little you do know, and you can see how significant a lot of things he did. Why do these people just walk around just, man, want to feel a nail print? He told you he wasn't going to believe. Because that was going to secure it for him. What secured for them produced amunah for us. Y'all got it? That's how you stabilize the house, the tent. Y'all got it? This is not the house. This is the floor plan. We show you that we were architects before we ever met these people. If you look at an architectural plan of a house, you won't see, they'll show you the floor plan. This is what this is. This is the floor plan. You got to have that before you build a house. So he was trying to show you, the man told you, it was written of me to do your will. He was trying to show us I'm the floor plan. But you got to have something to secure it. Y'all all right? Finish that 6:50. I think you're about 6:47. You Ukanon. I'm going to let y'all go. I done bored y'all enough. Maybe I'll let y'all come and clap and just roll on the floor tomorrow. Play church. Y'all go and search these places and see what they teach them. We definitely ain't the only one. I guarantee you we ain't lagging behind, though. Make sure you get some understanding. Understand when you see this stuff, what it meant to them. That's what the Ben meant to them. They understood it. They understood how important Yahusha was. The Mizraim, he saved them. They would have perished without him. This man was food for those people. This is what he told you. This is what, 6:47?
Yes, sir.
Listen to the book, Yukanon. Listen.
I say unto you, he that amon on me has Kai. I am the Lakam of Kai.
That did what?
Your Abbas did eat manna in Bamidbar and are moot. This is the Lakam which cometh down from Shamayim.
Listen.
That a Ish may eat thereof and not moot.
See that? What was the purpose of him putting the bread up? So they wouldn't perish, but that they might have what?
Kai.
What we understand as everlasting life. He gave them a continuance. They would have died had he not come. So now you understand the point what happened when he came. We would have died. The house would have been done. That's why we were told when the Navi'im testified, except the Adon of the Sabut had left us, we had been like Sodom and made like unto the house been destroyed. The house been condemned. That was important that you seen him work in Mizraim with Yahusha. That had he not set him up, they were done. Yeah. They were done. Listen.
I am Kai Lakam, which come down from Shamayim.
Tell him what happened.
If any Ish eat of this Lakam,
tell him what happened.
He shall Kai forever.
You know how we understand that? You do know everybody had to come to Mizraim. Everybody had to come there if you were going to eat. If you were going to live, you had to come to Mizraim. These people going to have to come see us if you're going to live. Everybody had to come now. Y'all understand? Everybody had to come to Mizraim. If you were going to live, you had to come to Mizraim. Listen, and you know what people do? People had to sell their possession in order to live. When that man started telling us about getting away from things and selling, this ain't hard to believe. How did these people get this bread? They had to sell their possession. They had to sell their houses. People, y'all do know it's coming back around again. So this was free bread. Walk your narrow ass up and eat to your field. Those people had to sell their houses. Those people had to get rid of their land. So that man started telling about separating and getting away from stuff. This ain't nothing new. This is what they had to do in order for them to live. Y'all ain't got to understand. You think you're going to be stacking up. You got to give up what you got. Y'all will see it. Look at these people going. Y'all will see it. All of them got to come back. All the way you're going to live. Listen.
And the Lakam that I will give is my basar.
You say is the food from Mizraim?
Is my basar.
That's how we understood it. That was Yusaph stacked up and laid up in the house. It became life for them. Now he just said, I am the Lakam. This is the only thing you're going to have. This is the only thing you're going to get that's going to be able to keep you. That's going to be able to sustain you. That's what food does. It keeps it sustained. When you're hungry, sometimes you say, ooh, this will hold me over. That's what time you eat says, something just tie me over. That's exactly what he came down to show us. This is what's going to tie you over till you get out of him. Till you could sit down at his table and eat. Huh? Y'all didn't pay attention with none with Daoud and his Benny. All of was already in the house. You know what they hadn't done?
Ate.
Had nobody ate till he came in.
That's right.
And he wasn't coming in until he got through taking care of the sheep.
That's right.
I don't know what y'all doing. They went out there to get him. That man didn't leave no work. I know he didn't leave it. When they went and got that man, I know he didn't leave no work. Don't make sense he don't work. Even Daoud, Yahusha, his son, and he said he had to work in him while it was what? He said when the Layla come, I know he left no work in no daytime. Ain't no way he left no work, not till he was finished. That's when he would have came and sat down and he would have, that's when he would have came here and sat down and he would have ate. And they couldn't eat till he came. That's what Shamuel told them. We not going to eat till he get him. How we going to eat till the bread get him? Come on, folks. Come on, man. They got restaurants you go sit down, you sitting there hungry. You ain't going to believe what you'll ever someday. Y'all got any bread? Isn't that right? That's why I try to tell the folks, but you got to have that Lakam. Listen to the book.
Which I will give for the Kai of the Arats.
See that? So I'm gonna give it for the Kai. See when Yahusha took the bread, when he took the crops and laid it up, that was for Mizraim. All that was set up for Mizraim and anybody that would come and gather themselves into Mizraim. That's what he was laying it up that whole time. Well, Yahusha come on the scene and told him, he said, now this is my life. It's the Lakam. This is the crop. This is what you're going to take in. And I'm giving it for everybody that'll come and sell and give up the other stuff they got so they can come and take part in this. And I want to think about that. But he tried to show you when trips hit the ground. And like they said, when shit hit the fan, I don't know who be shitting and they behind turned around going up. But that's another story. I don't know why we shitting in front of no fan anyway. But anyway, it's one of the most sayings. I'd rather not find out how you done it. But anyway, we're looking at what you'll do when it comes down to your soul. But you know, if you were starving, what you would do for your son? Anything. if your son was starving. You'd be surprised what you'll do. Your Nefesh is starving for salvation, and you ain't done a damn thing. And you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. It's a lot of stuff we do for our natural man. Everybody here ain't watching. People do for their wives and their family to try to keep relationships and commitment with people, but you won't keep them for your Nefesh. Wait till their family come. You'll do it. You'll do it. He told you what's going to happen. He said a famine was coming. So there ain't going to be no famine of bread or no thirst for no ma'im. He said, but it's going to be a hearing. You ain't going to believe what they're going to do. They're going to wonder. They done it before. Ask the people of Mizraim. They done it before. People going to wind up giving up what they got going because you're going to have to seek it. He said they ain't going to be able to find it. That's good. You know?